This is The Gavel. I'm Terry Kumi. Welcome. It's resumption month for Parliament, 23rd to be precise, and we can't wait to see what legislations are prioritized as they resume. And speaking of legislation, we will take a look at a couple of them today with Honorable Jeremiah Umaru, who represents Akwanga, Nasarawa Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State in the House of Representatives. Honorable, welcome to The Gavel.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Every time I speak with a lawmaker this period, I always say, sorry for pulling you out from your rest period, because this is recess. This is your normal annual 6 weeks of recess. Yeah. But I mean, some lawmakers are still active. Let's talk about some of the bills that you've put forward in plenary, beginning with the North Central Development Commission bill. Yeah. I'll take it from the point where people have said that all these development commissions are just to appease the different regions, and they are not necessary. So explain to us why it's necessary, or it became necessary, to put forward a national North Central Development Commission bill, which is now an act, by the way, and congratulations on that. You sponsored that bill.
Thank you. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. While I appreciate this very important discussion, I want to let you know that we were sawing on the 13th of June. And I presented 6 bills in July 2023. And one of the bills is the North Central Development Commission. I had prepared the bill before even coming to the House. All I needed to do was just to put in the acceptable format. And today we have the North Central Development Commission. What was I looking at? I was looking at development in the recess of it. You know, in the North Central, our region is blessed with agriculture, solid minerals, and so on. In fact, recently gas in Nasarawa State. And I'm looking at the basins, the Benue, the Niger basins, in terms of agriculture. I looked at it that if this is going to be harnessed, if we have a platform to be able to harness these potentials, I think the region will be a region to compete with favorably. And also, North Central is also a place that is domestic. We have a lot of deposit of solid minerals. You know, this is a sector that up to now is not regulated, fully regulated, let me put it. And with this commission, we'll be able to put some of these things in perspective. We're also looking at the possibility of having, if possible, a development bank for the region, where developmental issues will be, the bank will use the bank to bring about development in the region. So those were the things I actually looked at before putting the bills together. Coincidentally, most of the regions have their own ready, and the president actually signed.
So the reason for those commissions is the developmental challenges they've been experiencing. For example, I think Niger Delta Development Commission was experiencing developmental challenges despite its contribution to the national coffers. Yeah. And then you had the Southeast Development Commission, which they say would address some of the challenges of the Biafran War and all that. Yeah. The Northeast Development Commission was because of the devastation in the north by insecurity as well. So many wonder, why did we need a North Central Development Commission? What's the challenge in the North Central Development Commission beyond these investment opportunities which you've said?
So as you rightly mentioned, most of the regions have one peculiar issues or the other. In the North Central, we have the issue of erosion. We have crises here and there, you know, in most of the states, we have crises and so on and so forth. The farmers, you know, the North Central people are mostly into agriculture. You know, they are farmers. And today, most of our people cannot really be comfortable in their farms. Thank God with the efforts of the governors and even the president to ensure that security is put in place. So some of these things will be addressed by having this commission. Why? Because our people will be resettled, our people, the place will be restructured, and the place, there will be a lot of collaborations among the states so that, okay, for example, the issues going on in Benue, we don't really experience them in Nasarawa State. So imagine with this kind of commission, there will be collaboration, proper collaboration and coordination among the member states, so that we'll be able to have perhaps a solution, a lasting solution for the region. So I think there is the commission will actually do well in bringing about such kind of development.
What does it say about funding for the commission?
Okay, so for the funding, aside the fact that we mentioned some of the areas that we have advantage, that if properly harnessed, we'll get a lot of revenue for the commission. There are also contributions from the member states. Member states will contribute, solid mineral companies will contribute, and development partners will also support this commission.
Well, why do we have the headquarters of this commission in Nasarawa State? Anyone would have simply said Abuja would be fine.
Okay, so when I was putting the bill, I need to also state here that I sponsored the bill from the House, and it was sponsored by 51 other members who are members from the North Central states. Yes, another person sponsored from the Senate. Now, the one that was sponsored from the Senate put the headquarters in Abuja. The one we sponsor from the House, the headquarters is in Lafia. The reason is, we looked at Abuja. Abuja is saturated, so we needed to decentralize. We look at other states from the region. They have one national agency or the other. For example, Niger. Niger has National Examinations Council, the headquarters. They have Tradoc, and they have other national agencies there. You look at Kogi. Kogi has newer and other national agencies. You look at Benue, it has its own too. Plateau, so many. Kwara, so many. Nasarawa, none. And for me, I feel it's just necessary for us to put it in Lafia, Nasarawa State Capital. Because aside all these issues, Nasarawa State is also the headquarters of the North Central region. I think I need to state this, because the governor of Nasarawa State is the chairman, North Central Governors Forum. So Nasarawa, and of course, Nasarawa is very close to FCT. So the man from Plateau, the man from Benue can come to Nasarawa easily. The man from Kogi, Kwara, and Niger, whenever they're in Abuja, it's like they're in Nasarawa State. So basically, those are the...
All right, very well. Then let's hope that the commission serves the purpose for which it was established. Let's talk about this bill to amend the Constitution and create another federal constituency. Yes. I think it's you want to create Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egon, Wamba federal constituency. Okay. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we have Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egon, Wamba federal constituency at the moment.
Okay.
We propose to create Nasarawa, Egon federal constituency.
Separate. From Akwamba.
Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egon, and Wamba.
Okay. And the reason is?
Okay. So the reason is, we are almost the only senatorial district with one federal constituency. Now, we have looked at the number of the population for our people. Nasarawa alone is like 5 local government in one, because of the landmass, because of the population. Coming to Akwanga, the same thing. Going to Wamba, the same thing. Now, we have a senatorial district with only one federal constituency. And the Constitution actually permits it, Section 73. Subsection 1 actually gives INEC the mandate to review federal constituencies and senatorial districts not more than 10 years. But in this case, because of the House population, census was not conducted, and we are now relying on subsection 2, which gives the National Assembly, you can come under the Act of the National Assembly, and that is what we are relying on. That's passed first reading, second reading, and this bill is being referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review. And by the grace of God, we are hoping that if there is any federal constituency that should be created or considered, Nasarawa Egon should be considered as number 1.
Well, to what benefits? There will be concerns about the size of the local government before that delineation would happen. And then also the fact that there's representation at the senatorial level as well. So to what benefit or of what importance it is to create a new constituency or separate this constituency?
So we're looking at the population. The population of Nasarawa Egon is more than the population of most federal constituencies. The size of Nasarawa Egon local government alone is more than, in fact, in Nasarawa Egon, we have Akun Development Area, we have Agidi Development Area. Akun Development Area is more than some local governments put together. Agidi Development Area is more than 5 local governments put together in terms of landmarks and population. Then Nasarawa Egon itself is very massive. Coming to Akwanga, Akwanga is also massive. Wamba is also massive. So we're looking at it.
You sound overwhelmed.
Yes, because
you
the
sound
population.
like there's so much responsibilities on you
Yeah.
as the only lawmaker representing this large.
We're not just
federal
looking at that.
constituency.
We're looking at opportunity for more development for our people, basically. Because when we have additional federal constituency, it means more development. It means we have 2 federal lawmakers that will be able to lobby for our people.
But it doesn't also mean that the resources will now be divided.
No, there is a way it's been done. You know, like I mentioned, at the moment, I have 35 electoral wards. And today, we have lobbied and we have facilitated projects across these 35 electoral wards. So, what we are looking at is, our people deserve better. You understand? The population, the pressure, yes, I agree with you to some extent. The pressure is very plenty and on my part. But when we have additional federal constituency, we have more development. Because the lawmaker that is going to handle Wamba and Akwanga will be faced with Wamba Akwanga. And the one that will handle Nasarawa Egon will be faced with Nasarawa Egon. Then the senator will now cover for the 3 local government.
Have you had any interaction with INEC on
Yes,
this?
I have.
What was INEC's position?
Okay. The position of the INEC, in fact, directly with the INEC chairman, he told me that because of the census, I actually discussed with him, he told me that they are relying on census. And census has not been conducted. I think the last time was 2006.
To ascertain whether or not
Exactly.
they need to.
And he advised that there is also, we went through the Constitution, and the Constitution actually permits that you can come under the Act of the National Assembly. And I feel, why not?
Without the census.
Yes.
But how successful will that be if the electoral body that is saddled with the responsibility of creating that additional constituency is saying that we would need to conduct a census before we can ascertain whether or not to go through with this?
Okay, so it is when it gets to that point, they will actually look at it because the Constitution actually gives them the power to look at it, whether it is reasonable, whether it is necessary, whether it is fair for them to create. If it is, they will be able to do that. And in the course of the review, because the Constitutional Review Committee will go back and engage the people to hear from them whether it is necessary.
Absolutely.
You understand? So at the end of the day, they come up with a report, and by the grace of God.
So fingers crossed. All right, to wrap this up, let's talk about your Stamps Duties Act amendment.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the Tax Reform Act has, I think, to an extent addressed it. So perhaps you could talk about the details of that bill, of the act that have now been addressed, that have now addressed the Stamps Duty Act amendment bill, which you had initially proposed.
Okay. So first, let me put it, I'm a tax expert. I'm an accountant. And I am very conversant and familiar with the tax system in Nigeria. And one of the things I observed that the Stamp Duties Act is archaic, it's not flexible. So there are a lot of reports. In fact, one of the reports even shows that Nigerian government is losing revenue of over 200, you can imagine, over 200 million US dollars in stamp duties from oil and gas companies alone. So imagine us beginning to look at other sectors and other taxes. So I propose a bill. Let's amend the Stamp Duties Act because it's archaic, it's not flexible for the people. For them not paying those taxes, in some cases, it's not their fault. It's because of the act. So when the tax reform bill, which is now an act, came, they addressed the issue or the concern, and I was so happy. I say, yes, the president knows exactly what is happening. And that tax reform act or bill, yes, now an act, has addressed my concern. To the glory of God, that it has passed first reading, and I didn't need to push it forward again. So at this point, I'm happy that it's been addressed.
Very well done. Honorable Jeremiah Umaru, I'd like to thank you very much for coming on the gavel. And I think we'll find time to speak more, because I think you've proposed how many bills now?
About 12.
About 12 bills now, yes. So we'll create time to speak more on that, but that's all the time we have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Honorable Jeremiah Umaru, a member of the House of Representatives who represents Nasarawa Egon Akwanga Wamba Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State. One of the bills we talked about seeks to separate these constituencies to ease the stress on his back. Well, we'll take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll continue with the gavel. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the gavel. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, within the week intervened to address the concerns of protesting local contractors. And after his intervention, the contractors were assured of the immediate commencement of payments by the Minister of Finance and the Accountants General of the Federation, who were in attendance at the meeting.
We met yesterday with the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, as well as the Accountant General of the Federation. And we sat down for about 4 hours with the representatives that cut across all the zonal caucuses of the House and regional caucuses of the House, including representative of the Appropriation Committee and the Committee of the House on Finance. These are the core members of this new committee whose job is to make sure that in implementation of the policy of the budget, that the right things are done. And one of them happened to be the core issue, training issue of non-payment of the contractors. So they explained to us yesterday, today we saw the protest, and we asked them to come for us to have a conversation. I want to thank the Honorable Minister. And first of all, let me thank the President for appointing these gentlemen to occupy the positions they are occupying. They have shown humility in service, they've shown dedication, they've shown diligence, they've shown competence, and the way this matter has been handled. And the Parliament were happy with the way they came yesterday, and all we discussed yesterday, they started implementing from today, and the ability to engage with the people. They came in their hundreds. As you notice, they are just living here now. And once again, we had almost 4 hours engagement. They left here smiling. They left here smiling because we got the strategy in place. We got their concerns sorted. An implementation timeline was drawn, and all of them were happy. We're going to come back again on the 21st of this month to review what we have done so far, how we have ticked the boxes, what needs to be done, what was left undone, and the way forward. So they are going to be focusing on the one we have chosen now, especially from February, March, April, and May. Those backlogged, they are looking into loading them. And I'm sure that this will stimulate the economy once more. This will help to strengthen so many areas of our country economy once the contractors receive their payment. So I'm happy with what happened today, and I want to thank them and also thank the organization who put themselves together, that Indigenous Association of Indigenous Contractors of Nigeria. They did not, their protest was peaceful, and they were willing to communicate, to dialogue, and this is the Nigeria that we are proud of, that we're able to talk about our problem and provide a solution to it.
Now, the House Committee on Delegated Legislation is pushing towards further empowerment of local governments through creation of impactful bylaws that cater to the unique needs of their communities. Chairman of the committee, Olufemi Bamishile, stated this at a retreat with the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, which held at the National Assembly. Honorable Bamishile also highlighted the need for harmonization among the different tiers of government.
The theme of our retreat underscores the necessity of harmonization between different tiers of government. As we progress towards our goals, it is essential to acknowledge the roles of the federal, the state, and the local governments in shaping the legislative landscape. To succeed in legislating effectively at the grassroots level, we must work together in unison, leveraging our collective strengths and resources. As we embark on this retreat, our first focus will be on the bylaw making process. We will delve into strategies that empower our local governments to create impactful bylaws that cater for the unique needs of their communities. This is pivotal not only for enhancing local governance, but also for fostering accountability and enriching the lives of the citizens we serve.
On Constituency Focus this week, we have Honorable Clement Jimbo, who represents Abaketim Ekpoika Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State.
First, we've empowered our people in terms of training on different skill sets. Is it ICT? Is it on soil plastering? And the rest of them. Over 400 of our constituents have benefited from that. Then we move into capital projects, road grading, solar street light, building of schools. So far, we have installed solar street light across the different communities in my federal constituency, not less than 200 stands of solar street light. Remember when subsidy was removed and the prices of petroleum products skyrocketed, and we thought it wise to make sure these communities are provided for with solar-powered borehole where they don't need to use generator or use fuel to power the boreholes. So these projects are currently on, and people are benefiting from it. We've equally started and completed town hall meetings in these communities. We've equally assisted our people to register for JAM, registered at least 300 of our people in JAM, and they've sat for the exam. Many of them have gained admission, and they are currently undergoing their studies. We have equally graded nothing less than 30 kilometers of roads, rural roads, which were completely impassable before then. And so far, these roads are accessible for people, rural dwellers, to access this road easily to make life bearable for them. We've equally done a lot of empowerment in terms of reaching out to our constituents that really supported us. We've empowered them with cars, we've empowered them with sewing machines, we've empowered them with grinding machine, we've empowered them with motorcycles, we've empowered them with agricultural equipment and tools, and we've equally followed it up with all kinds of cash empowerment. For example, the last one we did was to select market women and empower them with a minimum of 50,000 naira, about 93 of them. We've equally given scholarship to some of our constituents. We've equally empowered them with bursary, the students that are in tertiary institutions. And we've given a laptop to many of them that our abilities is capable of doing. So we have done a whole lot of empowerment in this regard. Then if you want to talk about the bills that we have sponsored and the motions that we have moved in this direction, which is equally gaining traction in terms of empowerment of our people. I recall when I was inaugurated, I brought a situation in my community, which is called Obiobom, a dilapidated bridge that has been there since 2001. And I brought it to the attention of the federal government in the parliament, and federal government has intervened. Right now, that bridge has been constructed for our people to benefit. We've equally sponsored a bill for the establishment of a federal college of laboratory scientists in my community, in Abak to be precise. And that bill, by the grace of God, has scaled through first reading, second reading, public hearing, third reading, and it has been passed in the House, just waiting for the President to assent for that to be swung into action. And of course, the many motions and petitions we have equally laid in the House that have equally brought succor to so many of our constituents, not just my constituents, but Nigerians at large, because we've intervened for them to be reinstated in their workplace. We've equally intervened for them to be paid their arrears and a monument backlog and the rest of them. So by the grace of God, within the 1 year and about 6-7 months, we have occupied this office. Our people have really benefited immensely and from the robust engagement of our legislative engagement.
And that's all the time we have on The Gavel. Thanks for watching. Send feedback to The Gavel at channelstv.com. I'm Terry Kumi. Goodbye.